Everyone talks about America and China as the world's superpowers. But what if I told you the next global superpower is not in the West or the Far East? It's right here in South Asia, India. With its unstoppable economic growth, advanced military strength, cutting edge technology, and cultural influence, India is quietly building its path to becoming the next big global power. Today, let's uncover the real reasons why India is destined to be the world's next superpower, and the truth no one tells you. To understand India's future, we must revisit its past. For centuries, India was one of the richest civilizations on earth. The Maurya and Gupta empires controlled vast lands, while Indian scholars in Takshashila and Nalanda universities spread knowledge across Asia. India contributed to mathematics with the concept of zero, pioneered surgery with Sushruta, and traded gold, silk, and spices across the world. But centuries of invasions and colonial rule drained its wealth and left India weak. Yet, despite all odds, the spirit of India never died. And today, that spirit is rising again. India's biggest strength today is its economy. Once called the sick man of Asia, India is now the world's fastest growing major economy. With a GDP of over $4 trillion in 2025, India has already overtaken the UK, France, and Japan, aiming to surpass Germany by 2030. India's young population, more than 65% under the age of 35, means a workforce full of energy, ideas, and ambition. From booming IT companies in Bangalore to global startups in fintech, edtech, and AI, India is creating the Silicon Valley of the East. Massive infrastructure projects like bullet trains, smart cities, and renewable energy plants are transforming the nation. And with Make in India and semiconductor investments, India is set to become the world's manufacturing hub. A true superpower cannot exist without military strength. India's armed forces are the second largest in the world, with over 1.4 million active soldiers. From nuclear submarines to supersonic BrahMos missiles, from the Tejas fighter jet to the Agniveer intercontinental ballistic missile, India's defense technology is world-class. India is also the world's largest arms importer turned exporter. Countries like the Philippines, Vietnam, and even European nations are now buying Indian weapons. The Indian Navy guards the Indian Ocean, one of the world's most strategic trade routes. The Air Force has stealth drones, and the Army is modernizing with AI-based warfare. And remember, India is a nuclear power with a no first use policy but enough strength to deter any enemy. When it comes to technology, India is making history. ISRO, India's space agency, stunned the world by landing Chandrayaan-3 on the moon's south pole, something no country had ever done before. India is also preparing for its first human space mission, Gaganyaan, and working on Chandrayaan-4 to mine lunar resources. In the field of artificial intelligence, Indian startups are developing next-generation solutions. India is a global leader in digital payments. UPI processes more transactions than the US, UK, and China combined. With 5G, semiconductor plants, and quantum computing research, India is placing itself at the heart of the future. In geopolitics, India is a balancing force. Unlike China, India doesn't bully its neighbors. Unlike the US, India doesn't impose its will. Instead, India uses diplomacy and alliances. India is part of the G20, BRICS, and Quad. It trades with Russia, partners with the US, and stands firm against China. In the Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia, Indian investments and cultural ties are winning hearts. India is the voice of the global South, speaking for developing countries on climate change, trade, and fairness. And when world leaders need balance, they look to India. Power is not only about weapons or money, it's also about influence. And India has soft power like no other. Yoga is practiced by over 300 million people worldwide. Ayurveda and Indian spirituality attract millions of seekers. Bollywood movies reach Africa, the Middle East, and beyond. Indian music, food, and festivals are celebrated worldwide. Even in Silicon Valley, Indian CEOs are shaping the future of technology. Sundar Pichai at Google, Satya Nadella at Microsoft. This cultural power makes India not just respected, but loved. But the road to superpower status is not easy. India still faces challenges: poverty, corruption, pollution, and inequality. Unemployment remains high, and politics often slows progress. Yet India has always risen stronger after every challenge. And with each problem comes innovation, courage, and resilience. From the golden age of its empires to the struggle for independence, from poverty after colonial rule to becoming the world's fastest growing economy, India's story is extraordinary. Today, India stands at the crossroads of history. It has the economy, the military, the technology, the diplomacy, and the culture to shape the future. The truth no one tells you is simple. India is not becoming a superpower someday. India is already on its way. The world's next superpower is India. If you believe in India's rise, hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe for more powerful stories that the world needs to hear.